Iron Toast here, and today we're going to talk about the Thorns nodes in Marvel's Contest of Champions. So this is kind of an old node. It's been around for a while. We used to see it in the old war map before the current iteration of it, and it's probably buried somewhere in Act 4 and Act 5 too. So what I'm going to show you today is actually the current uncollected quest with Night Thrasher and Darkhawk, but the same concept would apply to any place that you'd find Thorns. So the main thing is that about Thorns is when you attack somebody, you take damage for doing so, and the stronger your own attacker is, the more damage you're going to take. So it really destroys you pretty quick. I mean, sometimes, especially in this uncollected, you barely get any of their health down, and you just absolutely destroy yourself. There's a few ways to get around it. One of them is Black Widow. Black Widow has an ability that kind of bypasses a lot of the Thorns. I've seen some people use Quake in her, you hold down her block and you can evade and parry and hold down the block, and that works okay too, I guess. That's a little risky too, because you're really counting on being an expert at parrying. But one thing that goes a little unnoticed about Thorns is that if you attack into the opponent's block, you don't trigger the Thorns damage. And this is really helpful. It does take a lot of patience to use this method, but they've come out with some champions in the last year or so that really help with it. The first one is that your main attacker is going to be Corvus. This works, obviously, the better the Corvus you have, the higher rank, the higher star you have, the better. And if you have a lower rank one that I'm going to show you, then it just takes more patience than this even. But the reason you use Corvus is because he can actually get critical hits through the block. You'll see it. It'll call it out on the side there. You can get critical hits while they're blocking. So that's the first reason you use Corvus. And the team that I'm showing you here is going to be a team of Corvus. It's going to be Beast, and then 3 Yondus. I have a 5, 4, and 3 star here to show you. But the reason you do this is because if you have Beast or Nightcrawler teamed up with Yondu, you get plus 400 on the block penetration. So I've done the testing here, and as far as Corvus goes, the 3 Yondus and the Beast combination gets you about double the block damage than you're getting without all those synergies. And so that's really going to help you out. You'll be able to get the battle over with faster, take less risk, throughout the fight, trying to avoid being hit and then hitting into their blocks. But use this synergy, I guess the synergy 3 times over. It'll really help get the battles over with quicker. The very first fight that you come across in the Thorns path on this uncollected is the Gladiator Hulk. He is a little bit tough. He's a pretty challenging opening fight because he occasionally gets that smash. If you use this method, you don't really actually have to worry about the crowd cheering. But his first special, if you're not careful, you can back up too quickly and you can take it. So a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, no big deal. So the strategy here is you want to attack into their block. You want to attack 1 medium and 3 lights. You don't want to go any further than that because you open yourself up to the counterattack. But it's basically a waiting game. You wait for them to back away from you, and if you time it right, you want to back away from them right after that, and then you can dash straight in for your 4-hit combo into their block. This takes a lot of patience. But with the Yondu synergies with Beast or Nightcrawler, and like I said, if you put 3 Yondus in there, that's really going to help these battles go a lot quicker. But as you can see, by the end of this, there won't be much health lost on my end, and it'll really save you a lot in potions and revives. I'm going to skip forward to the end of this fight here. And that's pretty much it. Minimal health lost. Don't really have to spend any potions on the next fight. But rinse and repeat for the rest of the champions. They're a little bit... once you get used to one of them, you can fight any of them. And here is the Iceman fight. Iceman's a tricky one too, because you're automatically going to take a lot of that cold snap damage right at the beginning. Luckily, if you've got willpower, that will definitely help you, because you're going to gain a lot of that back instead of losing it. In some cases, you actually end up with more health. But you'll notice that I used pretty much the exact same tactic here. And that's pretty much it. That's how you can deal with Thorns in Marvel's Contest of Champions. I'm well aware that there's other ways to deal with it, but if you have these champs to work with, then by all means, save yourself some revives and potions and use that method of hitting into their blocks. It works great for me, and I hope it works great for you too. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with your alliance if you think it'll be helpful. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.